So this assessment will be broken into two videos. The video one will cover the retake, which is the first 8 problems in the decimals activity. The second video will cover the second assessment. This is called the quotient rule, and so for the quotient rule, we take the 2 exponents and we subtract them for the c, and we do the same thing for the x. So 6 minus -2 is 8, and 11 minus 7 is 4. So the final answer is 6 to the 8 times x to the 4th. So in this problem here, this is the power of a power. So we are multiplying by 5. So we get 8 to the 0, x to the -10, and y to the 15th. As we talked about before, anytime we have something raised to the 0 power, as long as it's not 0 to the 0, the answer is 1. And we do have a negative exponent, so that means that moves to the denominator. So the final answer is 1 over x to the 10th, y to the 15th. This is another example of the quotient rule. So we're going to be subtracting exponents, so the like bases. So it's going to be 4 minus -2. X is -6 minus 2. And for the y, it's 5 minus 8. So the exponent on the 5 is 6. The exponent on the 8 is, x is -8. And the exponent on the y is -3. Because the x and y have negative exponents, that would mean that they would go to the denominator of the fraction. So the final answer is 5 to the 6, because the exponent on the 5 is positive, over x to the 8th, y to the 3rd. In this one here, we have a power of power, which means we're multiplying each exponent by 0. So it's going to be 3 times 0, which is 0. 4 times 0, which is 0. And 6 times 0, which is 0. Again, each time we have an exponent of 0, we're going to replace that with a 1. So as long as it's not 0 to the 0, which will give us an error, it's going to be 1. So we have 1 times 1 times 1. Final answer to this problem is 1. This is our product rule. So basically we're combining the exponents of those parts that have like bases. So we have some numbers that are actually unlike bases. That's the 5 and 3. So 5 times 3 is going to be 15. So the x, we have 4 of those. And the last one does not have an exponent, which means the exponent is 1. So the exponent on the x, we have a 7, a -3, a -4, and a +1. And for the y's, we have 4 of those. So the exponent would be 5 plus -2 plus 3 plus 4. So the number stays 15. The exponent on the x, when you add that together, you get 1. And the exponent on the y, when you add that together, you will get 10. So 5 plus -2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10. All the exponents are positive, so this is the final answer. And the next problem, another example of the product rule. So our numbers are all different bases. We're just going to multiply those together. So 6 times 3 is 18, times 2 is 36. Then for the x's, we have 2 of those. So we're going to add the exponents, 2 plus -4. For the y, we have 2 of those. Again, we're going to add the exponents, 3 plus 2. And then for the w, we have two of those. The first one does not have an exponent, which means it's an exponent of 1. So it's 1 plus -3. So we have 36. The exponent will be -2 when you add them. The exponent on the y is 5, and the exponent on the w is -2, 1 plus -3. So for the final answer, the 36 and the y stays in the numerator. The x and the w move to the denominator since the exponents are negative. And when we move to the denominator, they become their opposites or positive. So 36y to the 5th over x squared w squared. Problem 7 is the power of a power, which means we're going to be multiplying by the exponent -2. So for the 8, it's 2 times -2, which is -4. For the x, it's 7 times -2, which is -14. And for the y, it's -3 times -2, which is a +6. The y will stay in the numerator because the exponent is positive. The 8 and the x both go to the denominator because the exponents are negative. And for the last problem, for the first test, again, this is a retake. Each problem is worth 3 points, so this one's out of 24, same as the original test. This is a product. So we're going to get 3 3s. So we're going to add the exponents to 1 for the first one, a 3, and -2. The x, we have 3 of those. The last one doesn't show an exponent, so it means it's 1. So it's 2 plus -5 plus 1. And for the last one, it's a y. Again, there's no exponent in the first one, which means it's a 1. So that one makes it y to the 1 plus 3 plus 4. So the 3 has a final exponent of 2. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus -2 is 2. The x has a final exponent of -2. And the y has a final exponent of 8. So the 3 squared, which you could also make that 9, times y, the 8 stay in the numerator, and then the x goes to the denominator since the exponent is negative. So that's the conclusion of the first test. Again, 24 points just like the original. Each problem is worth 3 points.